The woman's child just died. Instead, she drew a bird's egg on paper, trying to bring her child back to life. The woman shed a tear of sadness. The tear falls on the paper with the bird's egg on it. The next second, the bird's egg began to break, and a little bird emerged from it. The woman was stunned. Then the bird jumped from the paper to another piece of paper and ate the paint on the paper. Looking at the strange bird, the woman tried to put some paint on a piece of paper. Who knows that the bird jumped directly over and ate the drop of paint? The woman then realized that this was not a hallucination, so she picked up a brush and dabbed some paint on the wall and dotted a red dot. Understanding the meaning of the bird jumped from the table to the wall and ate the paint. Then she drew a thick line, but the bird did not eat the paint this time. Instead, it jumped up and played with it. The woman suddenly realized the bird liked to eat her paints. It could even live on the wall. In order to let the bird grow up quickly, the woman took the paint and drew a long line on the wall. The bird looked at the woman and jumped directly onto this thick line, because it thinks of this as its nest. Then the woman put the paint on the wooden board. Unexpectedly, the paint fell and spilled on her crib. The woman rushed to her knees to wipe it up, but she wiped it for a long time, but to no avail. In a moment, the woman thought of her dead child. When the bird saw the woman's face, tears glittered in her eyes. Just then, the woman noticed that the bird was growing up. She thought the bird should learn to fly, so she took a brush and painted the sky and the grass on the wall. Soon, the bird flew on the wall. Time passed. The woman treated the bird as her own child. She took good care of the bird every day. The walls were painted with colorful scenery. Gradually, the bird grew into a big bird. But on that day, the big bird had its own idea. He didn't want to stay inside the wall forever. It wanted to fly out of the wall to see the outside world. When the woman saw it, the woman rushed forward and reached out to stop it, but the bird didn't listen to her. The angry woman slapped her hand against the wall, but the strange thing is that her hand changed in a wonderful way. Looking at the bird flying away, the woman fell to her knees and cried into the cradle, and the bird, in order to comfort the woman, it spread its wings in the sky and flew. Then it forced its way through the wall and flew out, but when it came out, it collapsed weakly on the ground. The bird crawled desperately to the woman and used its forehead to help her wipe the paint. Then it collapsed on the ground. The bird tried to get up, but to no avail. The woman looked at the wiped cradle and felt guilty. She knew that only by sending the bird back to the wall, the bird could only survive. So the woman reached out and opened the barrier, sending the bird to where it belonged. Soon, the bird came back to life inside the walls, although she couldn't let the bird go, but it was the only way the bird could survive. Then, as the woman watched, the bird flew away into the distance, and the woman let go of her obsession and continued to finish her work.